What's up, guys? I got some Sazabi gameplay for you today. That is my own gameplay. Sazabi is my specialty in this game, as I was a main tank player in Overwatch, a 4500 main tank player, and this character is very, very similar to Winston. So, I'm going to come in over the top. You can do it earlier. I did it a little bit late, but you can do it a little bit earlier and get better positioning. Because I'm not so tight to the wall here, and I'm trying to get back to my team from this Ashimar, I do end up getting a little bit out of position, but I get killed regardless because I get hit by a Barbatos, and I had 3 people around me. So they were playing very aggressively, positioning that I would like to have if my teammates would have played with me, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it. So from right here, you can fly over the top. It does speed up a lot of time for going to A to C on this map, A or C on this map, so make sure to use it. And I dash, trying to get to safety, and I dash into the Barbatos. Granted, he might have hit me anyway because the hit range on that is so large. But I do get rezzed because they were committing very, very hard. So pushing back into this, I want to start taking the point, and in a situation like this, you want to get really aggressive and you want to get the objective as fast as possible when you have an advantage. This game doesn't give a lot of time for playing slow. You need to play fast because people respawn so fast. Yeah, and so once you've secured the point, this is a very good place to play. You just have to be aware of people knowing you're there, because if they know you're there, they can get you pretty easily, but otherwise it's pretty good. If a Barbatos player engages on something, you can kill it pretty easily because it has a very predictable attack pattern after you kill it. Hits a slam, and then they slam down on the thing. It makes it very easy to kill it. You have to be watching the objective, because if you're not watching the objective, then you will miss out a lot on little free captures like that. Zaku almost snuck in, but at this point it wouldn't really matter that much because there was so little time on the objective anyway. It's better to just move on. I arguably could have done it even earlier, because at that point, if they capture it, it just doesn't really do anything for them anymore. So, high grounds are very, very amazing. And stopping chokes are amazing. However, you don't want to go in quite as aggressively as I did. I do end up dying here because I got too aggressive. Like I said, limit testing, it's okay, whatever. I'm not trying to play perfectly at this point in the game. I'm trying to see how far I can push Sazabi. And so you're gonna get killed in times like that sometimes, but it's good. So I go to stop the point from being captured, and it puts me in a really awkward position where I'm standing in the middle of enemies. I should have been facing forward, not targeting that Zaku, even though it was on my Pale Rider. I should have just been facing forward to protect myself, but I still would have died anyway with an Exia and a Sazabi and a Gundam pushing up onto me. But in those circumstances, you have to decide, like, do I want to just get more time on the objective, or do I want to try and just spare my life and get some more value later? And a lot of times it's better if you just go on the point, but it's something you have to learn yourself. The enemy is playing extremely aggressive in this situation. I walk out of spawn and they're already pushing in on me. I do end up trading onto the Sazabi. Actually, I don't trade, I just secure the kill, which is pretty good, but it doesn't really, it matters because it lets me get a good positioning earlier. But at this point, like I said, you have to be constantly thinking about the switching of the objectives. You don't want to win a fight, you don't want to engage a lot and invest a lot in a fight that you're going to not get a lot out of. So you have to be paying attention to how much is left on the objective and whether you can even capture it before it's over. So I see a lot of enemies. I realize, hey, I'm not ready to be supported here, so I back up a little bit. I like to play more aggressively, but I can't at this moment. That guy hits a nasty little Tomahawk on me, but I would have survived just because he's playing so aggressively. But then I get stunned through my shield whip by an Exia, which is honestly some of the issues that I talked about where in my tier list guide, and how Sazabi can't properly tank like it should be able to. Because it just gets killed. There's so many stuns in the game that can just burn through my shield. I somehow end up missing this Tomahawk, and I get killed by the enemy Sazabi's funnels. I was taking a lot of damage from funnels. Funnels is an ultimate that you don't want to go hyper. You want to go hyper aggro with it, but not so aggro that you die. Because if you die using it, you're not getting the value out of it. It actually just lasts for a long time and will hunt things down for a while, like at a large distance. So honestly, you can just pop it and then push forward and it will hunt things for you. Here's a little bit of an example about why it's hard to play Sazabi. even though I'm dashed at a pretty like, I'll break it down really quickly to show you why you can't play Sazabi against a Barbatos. So right here, he has his ability charged up, his slam. He should have 3 dashes, at least 2. If I dash backwards now, I've committed my dash, and he can double dash onto me and hit me and kill me. If I hold it till now, he still hits me. He could have finished me if this had been any other circumstance. Because they're in my team, they can't. But what the point of it is, if you're playing against a good Barbatos, because they have 3 dashes and you have 1, and they can crush through your shield, and you have the same range, you have the same effective range as them, where if you're not like another character that can poke them out of range and they have to get onto you like right away. You just lose 100% of the time. There's nothing you can do about it. It's actually pretty tragic, and that really needs to change. Unless you frag out and just pop them in the face like that, and they still escape because that character has so much mobility. But so it'd be. So I'm marking this little area here. Get the Sazabi kill. It's good to throw the Tomahawks and it chokes like that, just because you know you can secure the kill. Tomahawk is such a bad stun, but it has a much higher chance of hitting in a situation like that. So I dropped to secure the point. I don't really want to give up high ground if I don't have to, but in this game, high ground or objectives flip so quickly, so you have to be really careful about just letting it be flipped, especially on this map playing on high ground, because you can't contest from the top. But as you can see, I'm consistently standing on the high ground, and I'm walking up into the choke, and just guarding it. I can tell that the clock's going to fully tick out before this round is over, so I'm playing this as my last one. It's something I have to be aware of, and why I pop my ult here, and also why I dropped to the point, is because this is now the final fight. So I just want to, and I know it takes down so quickly, that I want to force the objective as hard as possible and burn it down really hard here. I wouldn't really do that in a longer fight or in a fight where the objective could swap around. But I just want to burn it out and finish it off right there. And we end up getting this round. I made some mistakes. Sazabi's honestly kind of a hard character to play in this situation right now, where the stuns are so significant and consistent. So it's honestly really difficult to play it properly and to be playing it like in a consistently effective way, because you don't have the same sort of security you do on a character like Winston in Overwatch. Even though Winston's bad, you can still block every stun with its shield. You can't do that with Sazabi. You have to dodge it. You have to dodge it really quickly. So finish the kill, sneaking through the backline. I see this RX-78 Gundam here, and I don't really want to mess with it because its stun is so much easier to hit on me, and it will kill me if it does it. So I choose to go for the Zaku, and I turn around and hit a nasty little shot on that Gundam and finish it off. This is one of the things you have to be wary of with resurrecting, is Barbatoses just love that, because then you're stacked up and they come and destroy you. So I should have paid more attention to where the Barbatos was. Don't get me wrong, it's a difficult ask. It's hard to know like where everything is in the game all the time, but with more time in the game, the top players will be able to do that kind of stuff. And I am one of the top players, as I finished 17 duoing for the last like 20 games. Winning it, I played for 4 hours and won every game. It was pretty lit. But anyway, so I push an Ashley more in the high ground. This game is a lot about hunting kills. When you find a kill, hunt it. And not to like a feed extent, but just like, all right, Ashima's there. Why would I not try and kill this thing? I can take this fight 100% of the time, and it's worth it. Before I rotate over to C. And then there's a Barbatos. Like, where did it come from, man? Wait, that's not a Barbatos, that's a Gundam, but no, it is a Barbatos. Okay, it is a Barbatos, I'm tripping. But yeah, that's just what happens to Sazabi sometimes. What do you do about it? But as you can see here, I type in the bottom corner, you can't really see it right now, but I said go early C, because I know that C is such a high value point on this one that if you get it captured, it's really hard for them to flip it because there's 2 levels they have to clear. There's actually 3 because the one at the top where I'm about to go right now. And it's so hard for them to get it. So I know if you secure early positioning, you'll play well, or you'll be able to like just get a solid like 35% off this thing. XA knows where I am, so I have to get away. And that is the vulnerability of playing like a really aggressive positioning like I did right there. Sometimes it doesn't work that well, and you get caught out. It's also hard. Just Sazabi does really, because Sazabi has such a big hitbox and such high like tanking responsibilities, but it has low HP. Positioning aggressively will get you just trash sometimes, but you kind of got to do it anyway. Just for the fact of learning the character better and maximizing your value. Like you'll get caught out a lot because anything pops up on you like that, it could just kind of come in 1v1 you. Like not 1v1 you, but like an XE on you could legitimately kill you. Just because of all the mobility, it could jump up to you, hit you in the face, and then dash away, and then stage again, and you're so low, and you're not able to hit it. So even though you're starting to lose this fight, I'm understanding that we can still hold it, but I don't want to because there's only 5%, only 5 seconds left on it. Why would I even worry about it? Why would I trade my life for the ability for like, you know, just a tiny bit more percentage for the ability to go set up for the next fight? Because even though I don't react fast enough and let that RX-78 hit me, I still was able to force it out, and I'm pretty sure, I guess my Metis was able to trade a kill on it. Sorry, I skipped ahead. So I run off and get some healing, although my passive healing's got me up at this point. I'm probably going to be okay. But this is a good time to ult. We're even, or up 1. Now we're even. My ultimates left me just going to come turn a fight, essentially. Especially at the beginning of a point like this, at a really high value fight. Because right now, if we capture it, we get 50. We get an advantage on 50 of... I guess again, didn't react fast enough. It's really hard to block those. You have to react super quickly, and if they're on ping, they're going to hit you. Yeah, but anyway, so it's a really high value fight, so it's worth using my ultimate there. Like right now, considering there's only 25 left, it's not as high of a value of a fight, so it's worth, you know, at that point you're like, do I really want to ult here? But since we are able to push it to 100, if we capture it, it is at that point valuable just because it is enough to secure the win. So that's more valuable. We're gonna have to get healing for a second. None of the enemies are able to contest, and that's that. If you haven't seen my Sazabi guide, make sure to check it out. I talk about the strengths and weaknesses, when to play, how to play, and all of this in a small 8-minute video. It's super good. Make sure you check it out, guys. Peace.